So the Boston Celtics officially move on to the second round of the NBA playoffs after beating the Atlanta Hawks 128 to 120 in Game 6. Y'all see the stats. Jaylen Brown led all scores with 32. Jason Tatum chipped in with 30. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, Trae Young led them in scoring. He had 30 points tonight, right? Now, here's a quick recap of what I thought about Game 6. Now, first of all, Boston came out and jumped out. They had a 10-point lead, right? But Atlanta, led by Trae Young, they chipped away at that lead real quick. Trae Young had a hell of a first quarter, right? Now, in the second half, to me, both teams were pretty much trying to jockey for a lead. They were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Boston really didn't get a good grasp of a lead until really late in the fourth quarter. There was big shots by Brown and Smart, which pretty much capped it for Boston, which enabled them to win by 8 points, right? Now, moving forward for Boston, because they're going to play Philly in the next round, moving forward, they cannot afford to play like they did in the past couple of games versus Atlanta. They can't afford to play like that versus Philly. They going up against the MVP in Joel Embiid, right? Now, yes, he is injured. I'm pretty sure he will play in this series because he's been resting for basically about a week now. So he should be good to go for this series. Now, I anticipate that series is going to go about 6 games, 6 or 7, it depends. But Boston cannot afford to play like they did against Atlanta, especially in games 5 and 6, right? Because I didn't even anticipate this series going 6 games. I thought it was going to be at least a 4 or 5 game series. So this series coming up against Philly is going to be a good one. It should be a throwback to those, Celtics and Sixers series in the 80s with Larry Bird, Dr. J, and all those type of guys, right? So I'm really looking forward to both series in the East. Miami and New York, Boston and Philly. But that's going to wrap up this quick game recap. Y'all see it. Boston beats Atlanta 128 to 120 in Game 6 to advance to the conference semifinals. So be sure to leave all your thoughts and opinions about Game 6 in the comments below.